Hey, I'm Jeremy Anderson, Positive J, from the band TREEHOUSE. I picked up piano early on as a kid, and that really helped pick up any other instrument. Trumpet in 6th grade, and that's really been the mainstay instrument I can kind of rip out anywhere and jam with everybody. My mom would always sing to me as a baby, and really encouraged music. I started taking piano lessons when I was 8. I was always humming. It was like a problem. I had to channel it.
Taking over, we on our way. Yeah, we feeling so nice and irate. See my soul shine so bright and fiery. Chilling in a circle with my friends beside me, and you know we feel the love now. Mix it up, sing it. You're feeling so nice and irate. See my soul shine so bright and fiery. Chilling in a circle with my friends beside me, and you know we feel the love now.
My older sister, she originally took guitar lessons, picked up guitar, but then she switched over to drums and got a drum set. I had tried it a few times, and I respect and admire and appreciate it greatly. I don't flow it as well. Concert band, picked up the trumpet in 6th grade and did every school band, marching band, all the pep band, jazz band. Into it, just kept doing it, but it really took a leap for me to connect it to being able to do it like in a band setting, like a rock band.
Waiting on the sunrise, 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 waiting on the sunrise. Yeah, we're waiting on the sunrise. Yeah.
I was a sponge for all music, but I'm not like keen, astute. Like I'll absorb it and then kind of forget all the details. So I don't sound like I know what I'm talking about, but then it's all in the feeling. Once it's there, it's like it obviously came from somewhere.
We on the road to the promised land. Take all your brothers and sisters hand in hand. We on the road to the promised land. So let's carry each other when we can. We on the road. We up now on the road. Oh, we on the road.
Yeah, I had a pop punk band I was playing. I started playing, we needed a bassist, but all I had was a keyboard, so I just played bass on the keyboard for a while. We had a pop punk band when we were in 9th grade, and a hardcore band when we were in senior year, By that point, I never fathomed bringing trumpet into that world. It was like separate forms of music for me. But the first time I busted it out with the band, it turns heads, and everybody, wants more of it. So.
We on the road to the promised land. Take all your brothers and sisters hand in hand. We on the road to the promised land. So let's carry each other when we can on the road.
Horn bands, horns write songs, they're melody makers. Every band I see, it seems like the impression of stepping it up is once you get that horn section. They got that horn section, it's just firing.
you consider yourself naturally happy, you, each day getting up and all that
Yeah.
as a person?
Yeah, I mean, also just a practice of gratitude, and you know, everybody has, we all have things that, again, you can focus on anything in the world. It's what you choose to narrow that beam on. It's just like there's plenty of stuff with unnecessarily negative message. It's like that, it doesn't even, there's no catharsis in it even. It's just so, you know, it took a while to break through to like what I think is the value of music. It's transformative in its right stages. You can write a song about anything, but we have the choice.
What I know, I've been vibing on and on and on. When I'm strong enough for silence. So if you wanna be heard, then go on and take your turn and speak your word now. I'll be listening. Well, the telephone only goes so far. But every time I talk, it's a heart to heart. Hey, and every time I talk, I love it. And every time I talk, I love it. And everything you say, I love it. So whatever you say,
See, I don't think anybody sits down these days at the end of creating an album and does a layout plan of how they want that album to play out, because nobody sits down and listens to the full albums from front to back the way we always did. And that's why we look back at a lot of those albums and go, yeah, the only way to listen to this is from the first song through. It tells a story.
I don't like just abstractly the idea of releasing singles. I feel like a good album should be all single worthy. Every song on it kind of deserves its light. We've gone through all the mistakes. Like our last full album, Full Immersion, we went to stagger singles, you know, so many singles from it before we dropped the album. But, you know, digital distribution, the way you submit it, you know, I submitted the album first to release at the end, and then I tried to submit the singles. It's like, nah, that's already on this album that's being released. I'm like, so I like stole those single releases from those songs. They never got their light. I feel like, you know, that what's the purpose of an album? Like, it's got to shine right, and the flow is really important. We've always sat down with like what the end of one song and the beginning of the other. At least if you're not writing toward it, like at the end, which one's just naturally vibing with the flow? Because we also made the mistake, because even if you have an album on a streaming service, it'll shuffle it.
Travel alone, you know, it's just evokes shared experiences, and that's always been a big part of what we do. Ron actually spurred one of the first times that Danielle and I came down, for better or worse, you know. He said,
Great answer.
come down, I've got you taken care of. And regardless of that side, we came down either way. And you know, he and a lot of the other people on the island, Panay namely, you know, made sure we not only survived here but thrived here.
It's my great pleasure to introduce to you, coming from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, TREEHOUSE. Yeah, what's up, VR Jam Fest? We are TREEHOUSE, and this is the same old shit, but it's another day. part of you. You are a guru.
You know, Danielle and I have visited St. John for 7 years now. We've been together for 8 years, so it was a natural thing. I had found this place just a few years before we started dating, and I wanted to share it with everyone I knew, and that's the spirit we're looking to commune with, you know, people who have their own adventures, and we just, you know, line up all those adventures together. I also enjoy the fan experience of like where it's navigable and breathable. I don't like to be in a big crowded setting, you know. It's like if I'm gonna be in a crowded setting, I'd rather it be a packed out, like mid-sized room, you know, where it's like, oh, I know everybody around me. Cool.
When you can look around the room and see the other people appreciating what they're hearing as much as you are, it always makes you feel better.
And it's also, the fan base always creates their own like community culture, you know, so we want that to be a legitimate positive value too, you know. People come for the experience and for the music and for the show, but they also come as a reunion.
We're hitting the road, me and some others like the wind of fire. It's time we're all the same, so cut the charters, games and roll through this life. It's like a styrofoam plane. We feeling love, say we feeling love, hey we feeling love, say we feeling love. Come on, so we gonna let the fire blaze, as long as that music plays, and we shooting it.
Who is the new band?
Sure, it is a fairly new lineup. We do still have our saxophonist Jason Azinski, who has sat in with us as much as he could. He's actually kind of reinvigorated into the lineup. He's catching more and more shows that he can, and that's always been a big effect with us. You know, I'll pick up trumpet a little bit, but when we got the saxophone, we got a horn section, and he's also just a phenomenal musician, let alone bandmate, because we kind of telepathize these dance moves together. He's always, I call him the cue master. Our bassist Nick Thompson was actually Danielle's and my roommate for 4+ years. We had always talked about working together, you know. It's just it was two slightly different worlds, and we were always on different tours. And finally 2020 came, we were still roommates. We all got to have a good old adult recess together and really get to know each other and everything. Danielle had the great idea that, you know, Nick has been recording all the instruments for his own project, Thief Club, so he has played bass a little bit. Should we ask him to just switch to bass for us, you know, learn the entire catalog and all that? And it was, I don't even think he thought about it. It was, yeah. And then we go and we're like, well, do you want to also marry us too for the wedding? He's like, yeah, I'll do that too.
Good to have friends, man.
Yeah.
Good to have friends.
Good to have great friends.
You got a new keyboardist in there too.
We have
who I met. Yeah,
we have a new keyboardist, John Bowling, and I've known John, you know, come to think of it, for a long time. John was the original keyboardist for The Movement, And when Treehouse was just starting out, you know, we crossed paths and like, wow, that's so good. You know? He's a funny guy, a hilarious dude, great to tour with. Always, you know, there's a unnameable dynamic to that kind of teamwork. You know, Bubba Love we've known for a long time. Also out of Myrtle Beach, we've known him for a long time. So we've been to many festivals and jammed so many times with Bubba. He's a great dude.
Welcome to the world of Treehouse.
We just released Space Cadet, which is our favorite new single. It's just a fun, playful song, and it's to me it's a forgiving, saving grace to, you know, we feel the message is important, but it's also important to have a playfulness in your heart. You know, it helps forego the ego a lot quicker than thinking it away. Take a moment to laugh at yourself. It's kind of like an anthem for humility, because we all have a Space Cadet moment. And
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I'm a space cadet, living in and out of body experience, and I haven't come down from the ceiling yet. I'm just following the sound, cause I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm a space cadet, dancing out the different mediums. Oh, crew getting higher than helium, cause it should have come through my ceiling.
Why is everybody looking at us? Treehouse is coming back. First mission gonna be so fly. Cause I lost our minds. We'll never class our way. I'm sitting cross-eyed, looking like I'm lost in the sauce. No apologies for the boss. I'm an astronaut. Yeah, I had a good hook, but I forgot. Oh. No regrets. All that shit's so easy to forget. Get out of the way for the polar facts. I'm following the sound 'cause I'm feeling it. On the space is that living in another place. And I haven't come down from the ceiling yet. I'm just following the sound 'cause I'm feeling it. Yeah, on the space is that transcending on a different medium. Whole crew getting higher than helium. 'Cause it's too difficult on the ceiling. Wait, not here for time. Brand new for you. That was fun, wasn't it?
Now, Mike Love, that was an extraordinary show that he put on.
Oh yeah. Mike Love always brings me to tears at least once in the night. We have crossed paths with Mike Love from Ohio to Hawaii, all across the board. So it's always been an obvious sign and connection that we're on similar paths and values. You know, that was a beautiful culmination that really Christy in the Windmill Bar, she had the connection with Mike Love, and she just kind of, she was gracious enough to host our whole wedding and all the event, and really amenable to that. Like I said, it made more sense for us to do it here than anywhere else. And as we were planning it with her, she was like, "Do you want Mike Love to play?" I'm like, "For real?" It's just, but it took also a whole community, a whole village, a whole island to make the perfect, something that we couldn't even imagine ourselves. That's why I say it'll take the rest of our lives to process this one beautiful weekend. And it's not gonna stop. This is just the beginning, so.
Looking for a best friend. Well, I've already had so many of those. So want to put me to the test now. To make fun of me and help me pick out my clothes. And if I was looking for a lover, well, I could have had just about a million flings. But I was looking for somebody, yeah, to be all these things. And I found you. And I found you. And my
You know, every time we came down, we would invite everyone as an open invite, like, come, you know, come use this as an excuse to come check it out. So we figured this one, they couldn't deny us to all gather. That's beautiful already, let alone in one of the most beautiful places in the world to us. It's the culmination of it all was more than we could have imagined, but we are very grateful that, you know, we put out the idea and it just rolled into a big, beautiful, you know, unimaginable event.
oh, my love, don't you know? Can't you feel it? Don't it show that inside? Sometimes it's like about to explode. You overflow with happiness for you to know. I feel so blessed just to be in the presence of such a precious embrace. I feel overwhelmed sometimes. I think of 1,000 rounds, but none of them can come better. The poetry in your eyes. I'm not surprised it took no time to realize I need you right by my side. And my world is here. No, I'm on the road to some good evening somehow. We would be
I mean, we'll be coming back to St. John either way, but we would like to check out some other islands, maybe Jamaica. We would like to go to Brazil at some point. Treehouse has a decent sized fan base kind of randomly in Brazil. I think they just love music there, so we'd like to check that out. We are specifically looking at Thailand or Greece. You know, Danielle's Greek, so we're definitely, that's on the list. You know, we have a few friends who go to Thailand every winter, and really that's just the plane ticket, you know, and then we kind of can figure it out from there. So the band has a list of kind of sporadic directions in the country, different festivals that we're hitting. End of July, we're in Minnesota for a new festival called Frequency One Fest. We actually headlined that one. They're taking care of us really well. And then September is kind of our big month. I'm basically, when I get home, I got to work on all that, like now. May's already screwed, you know.
Way to go, honey. You know.
Oh, we're at the
We're
September, Labor Day weekend, we're going back to one of our favorite festivals, Shangri-La Fest in Minnesota. It's our favorite band, Wookiefoot. It's their 21st year festival. That's just on the way to the next weekend is Montana State Hemp Festival. And that one is highly recommended. No pun intended.
Hey. Anything to say to the people of St. John?
Thank you. And we will see you very soon. Come see us stateside anytime.
Thank you, brother, so much.
Thank you.
This has been a great week. I really appreciate you guys
Well,
sitting down.
you know, everybody else is already talking about the anniversary party, so we'll see.